Welcome to a record-breaking edition of Inside Media Weekly. I'm Ryan Boni. I'm joined by Kevin Bastos on this edition.
Breaking all records of Inside Media Weekly episodes ever.
Episode number 151, I believe. 152, I don't know.
Well, I put the 150 up on Facebook, and somebody congratulated me.
Nice. 150 episodes in. Justin Pinto here for episode over 150.
Yes, 150. And I've not been on 150.
This is, I believe, my 150th episode.
You missed two, you think?
I missed one at least. There was one I missed completely.
Speaking of missed, where are the Sea Otters? So, moments ago,
they're
a half hour ago,
the theaters. They're at Endgame.
People were out there. They were handing out food. I think they had people.
Well, now they're taking a nap.
I found we switched our time for Inside Media Weekly, and now they've switched theirs as well.
Not happy at all about this, but they are still around. I don't want anyone to get nervous thinking that they're gone.
This looks like a waterfall back here that wasn't there before. Something good. It's like I've never noticed that spot.
I think the camera's at a different position.
Different angle today.
Could be.
It's fascinating.
So speaking of record breaking, this little movie came out this past weekend. Avengers Endgame.
John Wick Part 3.
John Wick Part 3.
That's not out yet. That's this week, isn't it? Or next week?
It's next week.
Who is even releasing a movie this week? I don't understand.
We'll get to that shortly.
I just don't understand what.
So, Avengers Endgame, $1.2 billion worldwide in 5 days. I think
It's at 1.6 now.
it was, yeah.
It's pretty good.
For a week?
It's pretty good. Pretty good investment.
I mean, I think we all expected this to do well. I don't. That's an amazing amount of money to make in.
Well, when it made
time.
what it did on pre-sales, like when you literally know, even if the people don't show up, they still made the money.
Right.
Like every showtime was selling out. You couldn't just like go, like, you want to go to the movies? Let's go see what's going on. It was literally like every show, like thousands and thousands and thousands of showtimes were sold out on Wednesday for the whole weekend.
A student of mine came and he said, "You see Endgame?" I said, "No, I couldn't get tickets." He goes, "I got some for the 2:30 in the morning showing."
Oh.
Said, wow.
You go home and take a nap.
2:30 a.m.
Well, you had said that they were running 24 hours at some places to meet demand.
AMC
Waterfront was.
had opened 17. Well, initially the story was 7. I don't know. They may have gone more. 17 locations stayed open 24 hours from Wednesday until Sunday or Thursday morning. I guess till Sunday to meet the demand of all the tickets.
I mean, it is tough. They have lost like a showtime of their movies because it is 3 hours long.
Yeah.
That is the killer of it because the turnover isn't there. And when you do that, 10 a.m., 1, 4, 7, 10, you do that 5 times a day, that's 2.5 hours. That's a movie.
When they still do the full, 20 minutes worth of commercials, previews?
There's a lot of, it didn't seem that long for previews,
Okay.
really. It didn't really honestly seem that long. But I'm sure it was, there was previews. And you got to play the credits, but the credits are in the runtime of the 3 hours and 1. Yes.
Yeah.
So you know that the 3 hour and 1 is really more like 3:15, 3:20.
One of my favorite spoiler things about it is good times to use the restroom during the film.
Yes.
Here's
Somebody released the best times.
at hour 1 hour 47.
No, it wasn't that. It was like when something this happens,
Go.
that scene's over, go. I was like, oh. And it was non-spoilery. There was like this innocuous thing that had happened, and they put that.
Could have
in
been
there.
anything.
I don't. Yeah.
I
did not look at it because I didn't even want the
How do you have
non-spoiler
that
spoilers
knowledge
still.
Of when it won't be spoilery, and you know the time to go to the bat. Like
Someone saw it and they said, "Here's a good chunk of time."
I saw it, and I don't know when to tell you to go to the bathroom.
I'm just telling you.
I wasn't thinking. Well, when can I tell Kevin to go to the bathroom?
I'm
I was
sure
enjoying the
within
movie.
the 3 hour time frame. There's every movie. There's a good 5-10 minute chunk. Except
And
Waterworld,
Act
which is
1.
wall to wall action. You don't want to miss anything. But
What movie?
Waterworld.
World.
There is no good time to leave that movie. Unless you want to
think
leave the whole thing.
Right. There's no good time to stay in that movie.
Well, it's
Although all the
it's
water
a paradox of sorts.
may make you have to go use the restroom.
Truth.
So there's
I remember it being long. Like I remember them talking. It was like, this movie is a full 2 hours. I was like, really? Okay.
So a few little records broken. This is just Box Office Mojo listing the domestic box office records that were broken.
Did not have the biggest Monday or Tuesday, I don't think.
Yeah.
Yesterday or today.
Yeah, it was the
Or-
third biggest Tuesday, I guess. but the largest non-opening, So we've got all kinds of
Only made 33 million.
crazy records. So there's just a few of them.
That's more than many movies made in their entire run.
The global 4DX format opening record,
Oh, yes.
Sweet.
and it's around
Thank
15
goodness.
million. They don't know exactly the amount.
Approximately. It's really going to matter.
What's scary is 859 million that weekend, or the opening weekend, was 400 million more than the previous record holder, which was Fate of the Furious.
Yeah, but
for
this was the
international.
first movie that ever like debuted in every major. Like the only market it didn't debut in was like Russia.
Russia, and it was just a week.
It was like
just happened
it was
April
Monday.
29th,
It
yeah.
debuted on Monday, but like Fast and the Furious didn't debut in China for its opening weekend. Neither did something else. Like Infinity War didn't debut in China its opening weekend. Like they really put it all the markets this time. It seemed like.
Boy, oh boy.
I take that table of four and I start adding it up and I get tired of adding it. I'm like, does this really add up to $859 million? It doesn't seem like it can. But I mean, you gotta trust Box Office Mojo. You can't trust Box Office Mojo. Who can you
Who
trust?
can you trust?
So,
I mean, is it worth all this? It's, as you are the only one who's seen it, I believe, so far.
Yeah.
just me. I'm the
haven't
only
been able to-
one.
I haven't been able to.
No,
When no one else has ever
that
seen
ticket was really expensive.
Nobody else saw it. Just me. It was
Of the
pretty
panel
empty.
here today.
It was good. It was really good. My first thought was, as a singular movie, Infinity War was better.
Okay.
Just to watch a movie, a story, because this takes, what now, 21 movies? And 10, 11 years. And now, when you take into consideration how much they put, the idea that things that happened in Iron Man in 2008, it could thread through all these movies for these 11 years and all this stuff and so on is kind of insane. To bring it all together and make it seem not effortless, but it does. I mean, to tell a 3-hour movie to wrap up a decade in 20 plus films is pretty impressive, and it was really, really, really well done in what it did and accomplished. You can't really talk about too much of it without spoiling it, obviously. I will say, like, after the first 20 minutes, I was kind of like, am I going to have to say this movie kind of stinks? Like, the first 20 minutes, I was kind of like,
So the bathroom break may be way in the beginning. Yeah. But you still got another 2.5 hours.
yeah, you
to
got
go.
another 2.5 hours to go. But then it does pick up, and it does go by. For a 3-hour movie, it goes by pretty fast. It was kind of, I guess, in a good way, unpredictable. You didn't know what was going to happen.
Yeah.
So, I don't ever like going to the first couple showings because there's always the people, like, the littlest thing will happen and people are like, yeah, and they're applauding, and it's just like, can we just watch this, please? Like, we're 37 minutes into a 3-hour movie. That's not the big part. There's more coming.
All kinds of
All
messages
sorts of
going
words.
on.
It's insane.
Hold on, we might have a new
No.
record that's been broken.
No, nothing. No, nothing.
So, I mean, reasonable conclusion. And actually, I was going
I mean, yeah.
into
The more I think about it, the more like, because
or they just leave
you're
a whole
just
bunch of
watching.
threads
I mean,
still
you're
open.
watching this movie, and you always something of this magnitude. You always blow it up in your mind. More, there were some things that I didn't hate at them. I just didn't like it per se. There were some things that I just was like, meh. But like there was a couple things in the movie about characters, and I didn't like one of them, and the 3 people I saw it with loved it.
Okay.
And there was something that I didn't mind, and like 2 of the people I saw it with hated it. So you're never gonna make everybody happy. I mean, obviously, but
Well, this,
I will probably see it again. I think
okay.
carving out 3 hours. It might be like in late June that I do that. But I think I would like to watch some of the movies again, and then see this again.
Or the ones you missed.
There are some I've never seen. I don't know if I've ever seen Thor: Dark World, and I don't know if it's important. I don't think it is
It's
per se.
the worst.
Yeah, I mean,
Saw that one.
but I would like to rewatch. Like, I would like to go back and watch Iron Man 1 again.
Oh, that's
Like, I
one of
mean,
the
because this
best.
movie became, the Avengers have really built up like Tony and Cap and I don't even like Thor is like one of the big three, but I feel like Tony and Cap are the main two that they talk about. And I haven't watched Iron Man 1, 2, or 3 in, I don't want to say 10 years for Iron Man. I don't remember last time I watched Iron Man 1.
Yeah.
So I'd like to go back and like watch some of those again, and I would, I need to watch some Spider-Mans, but they're not important in the movie. But I haven't seen the new Spider-Mans for a
They
while.
were good.
But
Well, I remember watching, again, having this crazy dream of, I should watch all of these through again, 2 or 3 years ago. And I loved the first Iron Man again. And I thought, I'll just give Hulk a chance. And I rewatched that, and that was where I stopped. I was like,
all right, now my memory was pretty good.
this one is...
And Ang Lee, Ed Norton?
No, the Ed Norton one, but not Ang Lee.
Oh,
Ang
that's
Lee
right,
did
the,
the other thing. But it was...
Eric
Eric Bana, yeah.
Yeah, it was... It actually started out well, and it was just Ed Norton, and when it got to the sci-fi special effects stuff, it was...
Is that the one with Abomination?
Yeah.
The guy from Oh Brother, We're Out Thou?
Yes. And it was painful. It was pretty bad.
Or no, is he? Yeah, he's in that, but Tim Roth is Abomination.
Tim Roth
right?
is Abomination.
And then the other guy's a scientist, right?
I think so.
I don't remember.
I remember hating it. Ed Norton actually was pretty good in it. He was pretty good, and that part was compelling, but the Hulk part was not good. Oh, the next ones.
I would like to. I mean, I would like to watch. I would like to watch them all again. I just don't know if it's the season of my life to get to do that
Sure.
ever.
Well, I got 5 more years, so I keep looking on the horizon thinking, my
Ooh.
kids are going to be less busy soon.
I got like 16.
5 years. 5 years.
Well, hey.
4 years, really.
Well, I gotta get Kinley into it.
When
so
my
let's
other
go.
one goes away to college, then it's down to 1.
Speaking of 5 years, here's what you can be doing for the next 5 years. So, Den of
Well,
Geek
that's it.
Let's go.
has
See
been
it.
just been kind of accumulating rumors and stuff like that. And of course, this was prior to Endgame coming out. And of course, we still have Spider-Man: Far From Home.
That's in Phase 3.
I've heard
It's part of
yes,
Phase
that
3.
It's part of this.
That's the last Phase 3 movie.
And they said Morbius doesn't technically count, but it is, but isn't coming
I've
out
been
in
dying
July.
for a Morbius movie.
Hey, listen. There are some things that I thought, why are they doing this? What's going on? Guardians of the Galaxy in particular, thinking this is going to be awful, and then going in, and it's one of my favorite MCU movies.
And then Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and you're like,
And it's not bad, but compared to the first one, it's not good.
3 hasn't started filming yet either.
But they got...
Yeah, everybody's back.
Well, and speaking of that, so May 1st, 2020 is currently untitled
Marvel
because,
Can't spoil stuff.
well, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was supposed to be then, and then they fired James Gunn, and then everybody got mad, and then James Gunn's back
I
again
heard they're
now.
starting to film in 2020.
So now they're, Den of Geek believes that will just go to a non-Marvel
Did
movie.
he do the Suicide Squad movie? Did they get him to do that?
We signed on to it. So
I know, but I
guess
don't
it
know if
kinda
he did it or not.
Well, they haven't. I don't think they've done it yet. No.
They have Venom 2 unconfirmed. It's October 10th.
Is that
of next
officially
year.
now MCU?
It was successful, so it now counts.
All right. That's like saying X-Men are now. Well, that
No, they're going to redo the whole X-Men story. They're going
I
to let this X-Men
understand.
Phoenix thing tank, and then they're going to do their thing.
I don't know if it's going to tank or not.
It's not going to do well. It's not going to do. It's not even do
Well,
Ant-Man numbers. I don't
no.
think.
I think it'll be close to Ant-Man.
And then you got Black Widow, November
Unconfirmed.
unconfirmed. What we got Black Panther 2 unconfirmed.
Excited about
There's
that.
a lot of unconfirmed,
Yeah,
obviously.
these are just
The
this is some
Eternals.
Now,
geeks
see,
throwing stuff around.
That's where the people I saw the movie with, they say the Eternals is going to be how they bring, because you can't just bring like mutants into the fold. That he said, I go, why not? He goes, people will be confused. You can't just have these. Where were the mutants all this time? Why weren't they helping fight Thanos if they're around? So they're going to have
There's
to
an
do
easy
something with Fantastic Four.
There's totally an easy one.
Well, that he thinks the Eternals is the easy way. He thinks the Eternals are going to come. And it's going to be some a mutation, and boom, here we have mutants now.
X-Men just reboots itself inside of itself so many times.
Well, that
I really some of the things the X-Men have done are better, and I thought it was brilliant the way they did a couple of things.
Doctor Strange 2 unconfirmed.
Is there anything here that's confirmed?
Well, no, because they haven't
Then
announced the
wait.
next slate, and then
This is like some geeks on computers throwing stuff down.
so
We should throw down.
and then Guardians of the Galaxy 3. So we don't really know what's coming. We're almost out of time already because we're doing
When
these
this
shortened editions.
happening?
I was going to go through the DC. We'll say that for the next episode.
we could just
But we'll throw a couple quick.
Watch Shazam yet?
no.
All right.
I mean, Shazam seems kind of entertaining.
It was entertaining.
But DC as a whole was just...
Yes.
Some quick stories coming out. Jamie Foxx is one step closer to playing Mike Tyson in an upcoming biopic.
Oh, very good.
Indiana Jones is bringing in the This Is Us creator for a script overhaul.
Oh, good. So we can cry while we watch
Smart
Indiana
move.
Jones now.
Writing's good.
Quentin Tarantino still says he wants to make a Star Trek movie. You know, he said he's only going to make 10 movies. This Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is number 9, so could a Star Trek movie be 10?
Oh.
Of course, they did the recut of Hateful Eight into a 4-part miniseries on Netflix, which is interesting. And Keanu Reeves, Duke Kaboom.
Did you watch that promo?
No.
You should watch it.
So
Canadian
basically,
superhero.
yeah,
Canadian.
It's
action
basically
figure.
Evil Knievel, but
Yes.
it's the Toy Story version of Evil Knievel. So,
Toy Story 4 trailer was on Endgame. Did not think that was going to be the storyline of Toy Story 4.
Okay.
Have you seen the trailer?
I have not.
That's interesting.
Toy Story 3 is one of my favorite movies.
I'm sure it'll be good, but it seemed really not the direction I thought they were going to go.
So this weekend we've got The Intruder. That's the Dennis Quaid. Yeah, okay.
And no one cares.
Long Shots. Which is,
Ironically named film.
I don't know where they're going to get the theaters to put this in, because like some of these movies are like in 3,000 theaters. What are we taking out of the theater?
we got
'Cause
Ugly Dolls is
Endgame.
also-
You could probably put Endgame in more theaters and sell it out. Like,
I'm sure they will.
and have to wait one more week for Detective Pikachu after that. So
ooh, Detective
we'll have to check
Pikachu.
and see if anything even comes close to Avengers Endgame on the next edition of Inside Media Weekly. Thanks for joining us.
We should do an